Hey guys, it's Savannah and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is some of my favorite Christmas DIYs that I did last year. My channel has grown so much since then, so I did want to put a few of my favorites into one video. Let's get started. Today's video is going to be a lot of my favorite Christmas DIYs that I did last season. Last year, I only had 1,000 subscribers on this channel. It has grown so much in over a year, so I did want to put a video out of a couple of my favorite ones. So let's start with this first one. It is going to be a little rustic Christmas tree. I got this little box picture frame from the Dollar Tree. They have them every season. I love having these in my stash because I feel like you can do so much with them and they make cute little decor pieces. So I started by removing the paper and then I sanded it all down, tried to get as much as the front off as I could, and then I took some white Waverly chalk paint and I covered this until I got an even coat. I believe I usually do 2. Then I'm taking some sticks. These are from outside. I just have these in my stash too. And I started by cutting them. I'm cutting a big one and then I'm going to form a tree. So I'm going to get smaller as I get to the top. And then I'm going to cut 2 little pieces for the trunk as well. Once I have as many as I want, I'm going to go through and distress the white once it's dry with some antique Waverly chalk paint. And I'm going to keep alternating between the antique Waverly wax and then some of the white just to spread it out and make it blend in. Then I'm going to take the twigs that I cut out and I'm going to lay them on the front of this piece and just make sure I like how they lay, see if I need to add anything else. And I felt like I cut out enough. I didn't feel like I needed something super small at the top because I'm going to put a bow there. And then I hot glued those down. Then I'm just taking 2 strands of raffia. I'm going to make a little bow. I'm folding them. You can see I'm folding them on in the middle of each piece. And then I'm going to take some jute, take it and tie it in the middle to kind of hold them together. And it's going to form obviously a bow. You guys, softball season is over. I promise I'm going to try to get some time to myself and make some, I don't know, craft. I haven't been to Dollar Tree in months, you guys. It's honestly sad. And then I'm going to split the raffia, make it look a little bit more full. I do believe I go over with that paintbrush, just dry brush over the branches just to bring some of that white into that wood. And that is pretty much it. I love this little piece. I still have it out this year. So cute. So let me know what you guys think. Today's video is a part of a Santa's Little Reindeer hop. We are also going to be doing a giveaway. These are all the lovely ladies that joined in on this hop. I am just going to let this play out with some music so you can see everyone in it and how to enter the giveaway. Now, this next DIY is really when my channel started to take off. This is absolutely one of my favorites. Hands down, best DIY I've ever made. I don't know, I just love the way it turned out. So this is actually a Halloween sign from the Dollar Tree. It's yellow, but I just like the shape of it. But you can use whatever sign you want. And I'm doing the back even to this day. I actually have this hanging up at my work. So like the back you can still see, but anyway, okay, that's irrelevant to the situation. Anyways, I just covered this whole sign with some white Waverly chalk paint, and I didn't do like 2 coats because I did like some of that wood coming through. And then I'm taking some Dollar Tree buttons. Now these are colorful buttons and I'm just dumping a bunch out. Then I'm going to take some painter's tape and a pencil and I'm going to put kind of like faux shiplap on this board. I start with pencil and then I'll go back over it with something in a minute. But it's super simple. I don't know why, like sometimes I'm watching this back and I'm like, why didn't you just use like a ruler or something? I don't know. And then honestly, I didn't care if they were super even. I liked a little bit of the imperfection, but now I'm taking a black paint pen and I'm kind of just going over the lines that I already made. Then I'm going to take my little finger sander and I'm going to sand those lines in there. That way they're not so harsh. And this is where you can tell I was definitely a new crafter or YouTuber. I'm like shaking the table super bad. Sorry. You know, just pretend like you're on a roller coaster or something. But then I do finally pick it up and stop shaking the table. And then can we all take a second to admire how messy my workstation was? I at least try to hide that now outside of the frame. Then I'm taking some of this white nautical rope and I'm kind of just playing around with it. I am going to get this to lay like a Christmas tree. So I'm going to hot glue the top first, and then I'm going to kind of keep roping it around. I keep hitting this thing. Do you guys hear that? I don't know. Yeah, so I'm just taking it and kind of making little S formations all the way down until I like how wide and how big it is, I guess. There was really no rhyme or reason to this. I just played around with it until I liked the way that it looked. And then I cut the end and then I went back through and hot glued it in that formation. Then I took some of these tree stumps. These are from the Dollar Tree. I got these last year as well. Again, I haven't been there in months, so I'm not sure what they have this year. But I do know that you could use sticks outside if you wanted to. So I hot glued those down to kind of make the trunk of the tree. And this is where it gets fun. So all those colorful buttons, I just like place them on the tree everywhere. I feel like this is very whimsical, but also rustic. I loved this tree, you guys. I still love this. And there's no rhyme or reason how I'm placing these. I'm just kind of playing around with it. Sizes, shapes, colors. And then I do go and start hot gluing them onto the rope. Then once I got as many on there as I wanted, I'm going to make a little expo. So this is where the expo started. I just cut out a bunch of ribbon, laid it in X formation, and then cinched it in the middle with a I think a wire, actually. I used to do it with wire. I used to pull the wire out of my ribbon and then use the wire to cinch it. But now I use jute most of the time because even after I would use the wire, I'd go back in and cover the wire with jute. So I was like, hey, let's kill two birds with one stone and just cinch the whole bow with jute. So anyways, that's what I'm doing here. And then I am going to add some raffia, of course. I have always loved raffia and buttons from the day I started crafting. And then we're going to hot glue this to the top of the tree. Next, I'm just taking some black wire. You can get this at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and I am going to kind of wrap it around to give it a little circle, spiral look to it. So I wrapped it around the paint pen, something thick enough. You can definitely tell I talk with my hands because I'm hitting stuff. And then I just loop that through the top, and that is it. Let me know what you guys think. Again, this is one of my favorites. Also, I'm Donner. This next one is also a really cute DIY for Christmas. I am using one of the Dollar Tree's Christmas cutouts, the little wood pieces that they have for every holiday. And I'm starting by splitting this tree into 3 different sections. So obviously you can see I split right under the first thing, sanded that down, split right under the second thing, sanded that down, and then you have 3 pieces. And then I did sand it down to make it look like they were made this way. Next, I'm taking one of these little signs from the Dollar Tree and I'm removing everything on the front and then that little bow. I also sand down the edges so that it is a smooth little surface. You could use like a paint stick if you wanted to. This one is just a little thicker. It was too long, so I did go in and kind of like scorch it. Scorch would be burn. I don't know. I just cut it because it was too long, and then I sanded that down. And I set all that to the side. Next, we are going to cover our Christmas trees. This is some cute scrapbook paper. I love it. I just turned it over and traced all the shapes of the Christmas trees on the back, and I was able to fit all 3 of them onto one piece of scrapbook paper. Cut that out, and then we are going to Mod Podge that to the front of the trees. Apparently last year I didn't find the need to show you how to Mod Podge. I just showed a little bit and then placed the scrapbook paper on it and then Mod Podged again. Then I'm taking one of these little square frames from the Dollar Tree. These were actually, they had succulents in them. I don't know if you guys remember them, but I did paint the back of that all white with some Waverly chalk paint. And then you can see those little square cubes to the side. I took those and I put 2 on one side and 2 on the other. That way it had a little bit to hold on to and to stand up whenever I did hot glue that. I didn't worry about painting them because I am going to cover those. So once the Mod Podge dried, I'm going to go through and sand down all my edges of my Christmas tree, get all that excess off so that we have some nice crisp Christmas tree shapes. And then you can see there that I did go in with some Waverly antique Waverly wax
the fun
and
part,
distress the
putting
edges,
it all together.
just to give it a little more dimension, to bring out some of that brown.
Finally get to see
and
all
now
your
we're going to
hard work
put our
come
Christmas
together.
tree back together.
You can see
but
where I
halfway.
ripped off those other sides,
So we're
and
gonna
I
leave
used
probably
that
about
as a guide because that was
an
pretty
inch,
spaced
maybe,
out
I don't know,
evenly.
maybe less.
And I just start
Then an
gluing
inch,
the 3
and we are
pieces
going
of the
to
tree
glue it onto
just
this
like
in
that
3
on
different
there.
pieces. So that's what I'm doing here. No rocket science, you know what I mean?
Next, I thought it would be cute to take these little buttons from the Dollar Tree,
Oh,
and I told you guys
I've missed
before,
you guys.
they're in the checkout aisle, so keep a lookout for that.
So,
This
and
is
then
the
we're
first
going
time
to
I
take
found
some
them.
more
At first I used them in
buttons,
my last
but
video,
this
but I
time we're
couldn't
just
find
going to
them
do
to put them together. But I thought it would be super cute to just add
black
these
and
on to trees like
browns
their little
just to
ornaments,
keep
and
this
I am
pretty
not putting them
neutral,
in any sort of order. I'm
and
just placing
I
them
am just laying those
until
out
I
on
find
the
a
tree,
position and as many as I
just
like.
finding a spot where I like everything, and then I'm going to hot glue those down.
And then once you have them in a good position and as many as you want, go ahead and hot glue those on. And then I wanted to add a bow, and you guys already know exclamation. And I added a little button in the middle
And
just
then
to go
I
along
just
with the
made a
theme.
cute little
And
X
then I hot
bow
glued
with a
this
button in
cute
the
little tree
middle.
onto his face.
You guys
And
know
OMG,
how
guys,
I
this
do
tree is
that.
so cute. I could never pick a
And
favorite, but
then
this is
I'm
definitely
going
one of my
to
top 5.
glue
I
the
love
bottom
how
of this
tree came out.
onto that
I added a little
little
bit of Spanish
box
moss at the
frame
bottom. You
that
can see
I
down there to the left. I added a little bit of
painted,
Spanish moss
and
to the
then we're
bottom
going to
just
take
to
some
get it more
Spanish
rustic, kind of
moss
that side vibe,
and
it turned out
camouflage
so
that down
stinking
there.
cute.
I guess I did
Let me know
paint
what
the
you guys
blocks.
think
For
down
some
below.
reason I thought I
You can
didn't
make this,
paint
and you
them,
can make anything that
but I
I do.
just hot
You should
glued
tag
the
me on
Spanish
Instagram
moss
at
to the
JabbyClass
bottom,
Savannah. All my
and that is it.
social media
This is
accounts are
also
always in the
in my
description
house
box down below.
again
Thank you
this
guys
year.
so much, and as always,
This last DIY is pretty simple, but it's also so cute. I'm taking 2 of these triangle box things from the Dollar Tree, some of those stumps, and I'm just finding some that sit well together and that will also stand up well together, and I am just putting those to the side. Then I'm removing the backs. At first you can see that scrapbook paper right there because when I first started this DIY, I had something different in mind, and then sometimes I feel like simple is better. And as I went on through this DIY, I ended up liking them. Just, you'll see. So I removed the backs and then got all that paper off. And now I'm going to make 2 bows. Again, an X bow. And then I'm going to dovetail the burlap. So I laid them in X formation. I'm going to cinch the middle. And then I'm going to repeat that another time. All this ribbon is from the Dollar Tree. I always try to use ribbon, I guess, from the Dollar Tree because I hate paying so much for ribbon. And then I'm taking some red and white baker's twine, and I did cinch the middle after it. Like I said before, I used to do it with wire, and then I just started doing it with jute, but these bows turned out super cute. I like that little pop of red, especially since this is just a cute, really simple DIY. So you can see I just took everything off the triangle, left it how it was. Now I'm taking a sponge brush and I'm just staining this whole thing with some antique Waverly wax. I do it to this one and I do it to obviously the other one. And then I kind of just dry brush on the side with it as well. Then we're just going to hot glue our stumps on. I did 2 on one tree and then I'm going to do 1 on the other tree and make sure they stand. At first I wasn't, whenever I remember correctly, when I was doing this DIY, I didn't like think about it, but I was like, that's not going to be sturdy enough. So then I ended up taking these little wood rounds. You'll see in a sec. So I'm going to hot glue the bows on the top of the trees, and then gosh, you can tell I haven't done this well. Then I take those wood rounds that I got from the Dollar Tree, I believe. I think they come in a pack, maybe Walmart. I can't remember. Walmart or the Dollar Tree. And I'm going to stain those just so that they match. And then I'm going to hot glue the trunks to the bottom of that. And then obviously they're going to stand a lot better because it gives it a bigger base. But I think these trees are just so cute, so simple, and definitely rustic. Hey guys, I just wanted to show my face because I feel like I have not talked to you guys in so long. So everyone knows I started a new job. My daughter was playing travel softball, so every weekend we were at the ball fields. Weekdays I was working, then practices, school started back up. So I feel like life has been a little bit crazy for me lately, and I really have not found the time to, lock myself away without feeling guilty and craft. So one thing that I'm really going to try to do is get upstairs more and craft more, because it really is something that I genuinely love doing. Also, I have a lot of new subscribers since last year. I cannot believe I have been on YouTube for a year. And even though I haven't been as consistent as I used to be, I am so thankful for you guys. And y'all, I look at my page every day. I do read comments, and I have gotten new subscribers. So I just am so thankful for you guys. If you are new here, I'm Savannah. I love doing DIY anything. So I just wanted to give you guys a little life update, show my face, say thank you. I hope everyone is having an amazing start to their holiday season. And yeah, I look forward to you guys' comments, and I promise I will make more time for my YouTube stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the next person in the hop, and I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. If you made it this far, leave a Christmas emoji. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.